Hello, and welcome to my first installment of Her to You, brought to you by Her to You TV. I just want to say thank you guys for watching this video and subscribing to my channel and following me on Instagram with my endeavors, my other endeavors of I Travel to Food and now Her to You. So let's see, where do we begin? Oh, this one is going to be a little hard for me to actually this is going to be a little hard for me to get out, just because this is very touching to me, and I am truly a private person. I really am. But life truly challenges you, and God truly puts things in your life that you're supposed to do, and when you do not do them, I am a true testament of what happens to you when you don't follow his plan, what he says to you. I am truly in the belly of the whale. I've been there several times, but this time I'm choosing not to stay there. I'm choosing to not stay there, and to actually do what I'm supposed to do the first time he says it. You know what I mean? So let's start off. So the title of the video is What Happened to Her. Some of you may not know, but others may know that once upon a time I had started a organization called H.E.R. It was acronym was Honesty, Equality, and Responsibility. And it was a nonprofit for teen girls to, to just teach them how to be respectful to themselves, etiquette, to reach for the stars, just everything and anything positive. Like, I just wanted to reach young girls, because that's just always been something that was big on me, is to really reach a young girl and not have them make the same decisions, or not be in a position to make the same decisions that I was placed in when I was younger, around that age. And unfortunately, I had to not dismantle, but I had to stop the foundation, just because I did not follow instructions that I was given. And what's so crazy is I was super excited when I started the organization, and when going through all the ups and downs and the events, I loved it. And it felt so good to feel like you finally found your passion. So then you just I threw everything into it, but what I was supposed to. So when I had started the organization, I wasn't informed. I was told by God to be the very first to be honest about my past, my upbringing, and the things that brought me to want to start the organization. But I was like, no. I'm not going to do that. I feel like I have, I'm grown now. I got my own child now. Like, I just need to make them be aware of the things that they might come across. And so he was like, okay. So he said it to me again, and I was like, no, I have this workshop that I'm planning. Like, I need to focus on that. So I still didn't do what he said. And not only did I lose, I definitely lost a partner in her, someone who definitely was worth keeping, but we definitely were on two different paths on where we wanted it to go, or where this wanted to grow. And it was so sad, because I just remember being with her, meeting her. When I met her, it was just so amazing, because we shared similar stories and we just connected. Like, we super connected. We had a cool bond, and unfortunately, we lost that with her. So that was one of the loss that I had. That was one of the first loss that I had experienced with her. And again, that truly was, I feel like that truly was due to me not even letting her know what I was receiving. And then just to say this, the thing about me is that I'm hard headed. I am super hard headed. Um, I've always been, really have. God can give me the first plan, and I will run with it and make my own plan, make my own steps along the way. He can give me step one, and I got step two and three. I've always been a person to think ahead. So I'm going to have step two, three, and four. And then he'd be like, come on back. Come on back, girl. And I need you to start back at step one, because you don't know what I have planned. So, the next one is, again, he was telling me to be honest. Like, you need to be honest. You need to really be transparent in who you are, so that these girls can feel that truth, feel that, and know that this is real, know that this is something really on your heart, not you just saying it, but it truly being revealed, it truly being, just that glow. When you see someone who is truly genuine, they're genuine, you just feel that aura around them. But I was like, I guess I said no, pretty much. Oh, Lord. So what had transpired was, not only did I have to stop the group, which was very disappointing, because it was just, all type of stuff was going on, communication, just plans, it just wasn't working out right. And then not only that, I couldn't truly focus on it, because he was shaking up the her that was right in my home, my child. Oh, baby, when God said do something, you don't do it. I'm telling you, he had me in that wilderness with my own child. And it's nothing like going through with your own child. Like, you can minister to someone else that's going through with their own kids, and you see the light at the end of the tunnel. You can focus. You can have the plan. Like, listen, this is what you need to do. This is what I think you should do. Like, I've always been that type of person. I've always been good with giving advice. I've always been that. Like, I've always been an ear and a soundmind for someone to pour into and not pour out to them, which I've always been lovingly, like, nothing to gain from it or anything. But with myself, being that type of person, like, it's hard for you to go to someone else when you're going through. And when I tell you, I was going through it. I just did not know when it was gonna end. Like, my child ran me ragged. And at one point, I felt like I had lost my child, physically and mentally. Like, I'm gonna have to let Chuck in the deuces. Like, I'm gonna have to throw in a flag. Like, everything around me, excuse me, was against me. And it just was, it was disheartening, and it was so sad, because when I had my child, I became a mom. I became mommy first and Shanice second. And that's all I've known. For 12 years, I had been a mom. 12 years, I had been a mom, and that's who I've been. And then 12 years, there's no Shanice. There's only mom. So I remember when I was going through, and I was talking to one of my best friends, and I was telling her, I said, you know what? The problem is, I'm thinking, the reason why I'm going through what I'm going through is because I'm not listening to what God has been telling me to do. Two, anytime you put something before God because he is a jealous God, oh baby. I said, he's gonna take this away from me. So, like I said, hence to the fact that where I really thought, like, oh yeah, I am going to lose my child. Um, and so what that really made me start thinking about is, who would I be? Who would I be? Like, my motherhood is being tested, it's being called to question, it is being drug in the dirt. Um, and then I might not even have no one to even call me mom. Like, at the end of the day, I might not even have no one to call me mom. So, it really brought me down to my knees to really go to God and be like, what am I supposed to do? And I remember my sister, just because of how I've done my child, she's the only child, I guess, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, she's spoiled. Like, she was spoiled. I felt like I poured a lot into her because of the things, of course, like, and it's not even cliche. I poured into her because of the things that I did not have, the things that I did not receive. Because of the type of mother that I had, I just poured into my child. And I, there's, I learned my lesson now, really, because I didn't realize that I didn't make sure there was a balance at all. It was just overflow, overflow, overflow. And it's not like she wasn't disciplined. It's just that it just didn't, it was an overflow pretty much. And it punched me in my face, really. And it made me have to reevaluate, one, how I parented, and two, how I truly lost myself. It made me realize, like, oh, you done lost who you are, because in that situation, I didn't even realize that I had lost myself completely. Like, I couldn't even tell you nothing about Shanice other than I'm a mom. I'm a mom. I got a child, and she does this, and she's, all that, all that stuff. I work, I do this, I do, you know what I'm saying? So it was all surrounded in her. And I remember my sister, when I was not going through this, but prior to, when, everything was good, and she would be like, you need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, because when this girl gets older and she leaves the house, like, you can't then start living your life. Like, what are you gonna do? So, and then on top of that, being a single mom, I've had that single mom guilt, where it's like, well, I have to make sure that I do this, make sure this is done before I can think about myself. And by the time it was done, it was either depleted or I was tired. I didn't care for it. Like, never mind. So so basically, what ended up happening was, I started to really seek God. And I really started to intentionally figure out what my true desires were, what I wanted for myself. And so, here is Her to You, and I Travel to Food. So, Her to You is still her, because I do plan on, I feel like God, let me not say that. I'm hoping that God still allows me to be in some form of some capacity in young girls, teens' lives in some way, either a mentor or to restart my nonprofit. But what I am doing is I'm waiting for his instructions on what I should be doing. In the meantime, it's Her to You. So it's still her, but I am the her, and it's to you in two forms. Meaning to you is that I am going to now be transparent. I'm retracting. I'm going to be transparent in who I am and what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm listening intentionally to what God wants me to do. Also, to you is to Him. To is in you is to Him. Excuse me, meaning that I'm giving myself to Him. I'm laying that down to Him and letting Him know that I'm listening. I'm definitely listening, and in the meantime, I am going to find things that I desire. Things that are going to open me up, conversations I'm going to have that are going to allow me to rethink what I've been thinking or the habits that I truly have. So, like I said before, I Travel to Food is a fun place. That is a fun place for me to get out and explore. Her to You is for me to find me, to find her, to find out my true desires, and again, follow my purpose and what He has for me. So I just want to say that I do thank everybody that has been supportive, that has pushed me thus far. I appreciate all my prayer warriors, all the people in my corner that pray for me day in, day night. And I am just so thankful that I am allowed to, I'm even alive, you know what I'm saying, or given a second chance to come to you or come to this and, to this space and be able to share my stories, because there definitely are more to come. And then I am grateful to be in a better place with my child. I really am, because before it was super scary. But that's what God would do. He will shake your world all the way up. So you don't get dependent. You do not. So you don't get dependent on anything but Him. And that definitely was a lesson that I learned. And I will not. I hope to not do that again. I hope to understand that I have to stop living in the learning the hard way. I have to start wanting, not wanting the rough road ahead. You know what I mean? As far as not listening and then have to go through all that and then you turn around and have to still do what He says again. Whew, I'm too old to be going through all that. I'm too old to be trying to live these 300 lessons. So I don't have the time. What I do have the time for is to find my purpose, is to live my life, and to thank God. Thank God for the journey. Thank God for the journey ahead. Thank God for the blessings ahead. Thank God for the lessons. So that is all for now. So thank you guys so much again for tuning in. So go ahead and subscribe down below so you can catch more of these stories, more of these adventures. Definitely comment. Let me know how you feel. Let me know if this has touched you in any way, if this has, helped you in any way. I would so appreciate that. So I know that I am not the only one going through. Also, go on and go over to Instagram and go ahead and follow my page. I Travel to Food. That is the fun page. That is the fun page. And Instagram, I'm also on Instagram, Her to You. That is Her, H.E.R, the number 2 and the letter U. And the same with I Travel to Food. It's going to be ITRAVEL, the number 2 and U. And I'll have those links down below. So I just definitely have to spell them for some reason, but because there's so much on there. But thank you guys, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.